if every game for Liverpool is a must-win, which you can understand that logic, why did he go with the team he went with tonight?
Well, he said that was a choice I made. That was a team I picked. It was the wrong team. Make no mistake. I mean, I said
even
before,
with Villa, Real Madrid, City.
You picked a team today. No, look, when you looked at them, I see you asked me the question beforehand. I said, well, you've made it really difficult for yourself tonight picking that team. You've not helped the young players in there because the team and the players in and around them. He made 10 changes from the weekend against Brentford. Like you can't tell me that he's picked that team today and those subs thinking that'll get me a result against a really good Crystal Palace side. You might hope you can, but I didn't believe for 1 second they could beat him. And he's made a mistake today. But you know what? He's been unbelievable since he's come to the club. They're under this is real pressure for everybody concerned. But that's football. That's the price on the ticket. They climbed the mountain last year. They did something absolutely sensational. Now they've got to go back to that character they showed last year to when they won the title and stick together and get some results. Because there's not just, when you ask what's going on with Liverpool, there's so many things. There's so many things. It's not just the defence. It's not just the midfield. It's not just full. It's everything right now. And they've got to show some character. They've got really tough games ahead. But I think today, and I haven't said it very often about Arne Slot because I think he's been sensational, but today was a big mistake. You can't tell me that team was ever going to be capable of beating a really strong Crystal Palace side.
Does it add to the noise? Does it add to the pressure, as Ben asked him? Or, as Arne Slot kind of said, is the pressure at such a level already that it couldn't have gone much further, whatever happened tonight?
No, it gets a lot louder after tonight.
Even
with
the team?
They were well beaten, Mark, well beaten. At home, on a run that they're on, I think the team selection actually probably adds more volume and more noise because for me, when you've been in a team that's really struggled, and we spoke about it before the game, that's when you want your leaders. That's when, again, if it's me in that changing room, I want to play tonight. You know, let me go out. And I know people are going to say, you know, fatigue and the games are adding up. And there are certain games that you need to just get out there and try and get a result. And I don't think he's actually done a good enough job of trying to turn down that noise at times and maybe just stop the rot. You know, Chelsea, get back in the game, just take a point. You end up going to lose that. Manchester United, get back in the game, take a point. It almost feels it is all or nothing every game. And then that just spirals and it rumbles on. And then the pressure gets too big to handle, which clearly, you know, not having any of the boys on the bench was my big worry, not just the starting team.
So last season at this same stage, they went to Brighton and knocked Brighton out. He kind of mixed and matched his starting 11 for that game. Tyler Morton, for example, started at Brighton last season, but his bench was a lot stronger. You know, he was able to bring Nunes on or Salah on.
That's the big thing as well. When you look at, and he might, if they get a couple of great results, maybe Aston Villa and Manchester and Real Madrid, he'll turn around and say, that was the right decision. You know, he'll say, well, you know, I got it right. But I felt today, and I listened to Arne Slot, and I loved last year. I couldn't. Honesty's a great thing. Really good to be honest. Come out and talk about how the team's doing. But I think right now, you know, talking about we can't play against a team who play a low block against us. We can't defend against set pieces. That will transmit to the players that you are then giving them a massive out. And I think that doesn't really, for me, is not a great idea right now. You know, if you want to say that to the players, but when you're coming out so publicly and saying these things, even there, talking about every 2 days, you're a successful club. You won the league last year. That's the price on the ticket. Look at Chelsea. They had to go and play up until, I don't know, at the Club World Cup. They've got it really difficult and they've got a load of injuries. But I think for Arne right now, there's lots of sort of negative chat that's coming out. And I don't want to hear that too much. The fans don't want to hear it. People that have gone to that game, paid a load of money to go and watch that team and seeing after the 10 changes, that's not ideal either. So I think it's been a really bad day for him, but he's got to quickly get it right, get everybody going. Big characters are going to be needed for the weekend against Aston Villa, who had a brilliant result against Man City. But Jobi's spot on. They've got to get going really quickly.
And also a lot of heat is going to be on him. He is the manager, but the players have to step up as well. And what he's done tonight is said, right, I'm going to rest the big hitters, well, pretty much everybody. And now what you then have to go and do as a player is you've got to go and deliver, and you've got to help him out a little bit. He's under pressure.
Don't let me down.
Exactly. And I think that's where you're hoping to get a little bit back from those players that you've left out tonight, you know, in the next 2-3 games, because they definitely need something just to turn that tide.
Bad night for Liverpool then, great night for Crystal Palace.